Hi there. Now that we're driving that car, we want to see the difference or the distinctive features between morphemes and syllables. At the beginning, let's go back to the beginning. We talked about being a multisensory learner. Let's take a look at multisensory learner. I'm going to identify the vowels. Here's the vowel, another vowel, I, E is a vowel, O is a vowel, and Y can often act like a vowel. I know because in multisensory I have 5 vowels. It's very likely I'm going to have 5 syllables. When we divide a word, we usually look for vowels first, especially in the first syllable. The first syllable has a vowel. It could say mew, but because the L is here, I'm going to have it say mall. The second syllable has an I. It's at the end, and I'm going to have it say I in this situation. The next syllable is sen, e. The following syllable is sor, and the O in or. Remember, this is the second sound of S. And the third syllable says E, and it sits all by itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 syllables. The word learner has 2 vowels, 3 vowels. In this situation, the 2 vowels act together. And they say E-A-R, which we learned is so we're going to have this first syllable be learn and the second syllable be If I do my diacritical marks on learn, I might get that wiggly symbol on both ers. But that sure took a long time. Let's look at our original multisensory learner. Oh, if I did this by morphology, I would know that the first part, multi, means many. The second part, sensory, means having to do with our senses. Oh, that means many senses. There's a learner. If I wanted to do it by units of meaning, learn is a unit of meaning. In this situation says it's a person. Boy, that was a little bit easier. So you choose as an individual how you will decode and encode words. Remember, there are different skills in the brain. Decoding, always easier than writing, which is encoding. So let's play to find different kinds of syllable types before we move into an activity to show how we can do both morphology and syllabication simultaneously. So let's tune in to our guide and learner. Okay.
Okay. So the first thing. So were you going to, do you not want me to do the teacher, instructor, guide, coach, student, learner?
Oh, yes, please do that.
Okay. So some more examples of how you can look at morphology in terms of decoding and encoding. The words we've been using a lot here in the lab have been teacher, instructor, guide, coach, student, and learner. If I look at the word teacher, 2 morphemes. Teach, the person who teaches is a teacher. Teach, ER. Instructor, the person who instructs is the instructor. So 2 morphemes, instruct, plus the suffix OR. Guide, 1 morpheme. Coach, 1. Student, a person who studies, is a student. Study and ent. And learner, learn, and ER, a person who learns is a learner. And now we're going to move into what, Miss Elizabeth?
Yeah, now we're going to discover a few syllable types that you may or may not know that you're doing. But on our very first page, if you turn to the first page of our notebook, you will see some vowels. Let's look and watch how, well, I'm going to ask, Nahiku, look at that page on vowels. Do you notice any words that have a vowel at the end?
Yes.
Okay, what word do you notice?
Little.
Little. What is the vowel at the end of little?
A silent E.
Ah, that's the silent E syllable. Very good. Any others?
Do.
Do. What's the sound at the end of that?
Oo.
And that is the third sound of O. So that is not an open syllable. It just is one that doesn't fit the rule. Go ahead.
Me.
What's the sound at the end of that word?
E.
In that case, E will make my hand stretch out because E is the name of the letter. Go ahead. Any others?
E. Edge.
Edge is the E at the end of the syllable.
Yes.
What does that E do for that syllable?
It silence out.
It's a silent out. Yep, that's right. So it doesn't do anything for us to identify that syllable. Any other words there with a vowel at the end?
Change.
Change. What's the E doing there?
Chance.
Chance.
Oh, chance. That's a good one. What's the E doing there?
Becomes silent.
That's right.
For RC rule.
That's right. So it's not a syllabic rule. Continue. Look in the I column and see what word goes across the I's.
Oh, like my.
My. What's the vowel at the end of that word?
A Y, but sounds like an I.
Correct. That is saying a name. Continue.
Jim.
Is that a vowel at the end?
No.
Miss Elizabeth, are we looking for vowels? I'm sorry, are we looking for vowels only at the end of the word or vowels at the end of a syllable?
Very good. Because so far we've only found vowels at the end of a word. Therefore, that word is one syllable.
Yeah.
Do we agree? Yeah. So now let's look for a vowel in more than one syllable in a word. And if you look across at I, you'll see the one I'm thinking of.
Baby.
Baby. What does that Y sound like? Oh,
E.
that's right. Straight line. How many syllables are in baby?
Baby. 2.
On top of that A is a straight line because what does it sound like?
A.
A. baby. 2 open syllables. Do you see anything else there? I'm looking for 2 more good words.
Silent.
Very good. What do you know about the I at the end of silent?
It's referring to its name.
It's referring to its name. Straight line. That's an open syllable. What else do you have?
R.
R. What's that E doing at the end of that syllable?
It's silent.
So it has no job. It's not going to create anything that resembles an open sound. Very good. So now, what do you think you've noticed about a vowel at the end of a syllable? Do you notice anything? Or hear anything? Maybe that's better.
An R.
In all of the words, in silent, in my, me, what are those vowels doing?
Mostly referring to their name.
Exactly. That is one of the most common syllable types, and it's called an open syllable. Now, Hiku, if you go to a more advanced page, the one that has our sh sounds on it, you will notice they're bigger words. Let me know if you and Mahina can identify any more open syllables in those multi-syllable words.
I have a question,
Yes.
and I'm going to ask you, or I'm going to ask Nahiku.
Okay.
The distinctive characteristic, or what is or are we working there? What is the distinctive characteristic of an open syllable?
The distinctive characteristic.
That's why I didn't think.
Do you know?
I've never
Nahi-
heard of those words.
That's
Okay.
right. She's never heard of it. And so I will now give it to you.
Okay.
Have you noticed that those vowels are located in a particular place? In my, in silent.
Yes.
Where is that place?
The second letter.
The second letter, or it could be by itself, but it's the second letter. It's the last letter in a syllable. Simply this, an open syllable is an utterance of words, of sounds that has a vowel sound that says a vowel name. That's simply it. An open syllable, very common, will end in a vowel and say its name. Okay?
So for me, what's really important about what you just said is that an open syllable ends in a vowel.
Simply it.
Okay? And then that vowel says its name.
Yep. So in your on your shul plate page, I noticed when I was looking that there are many words that begin with an open syllable. Can you identify some of them?
Po.
Po. That is an open syllable. What was your word?
Potential.
Exactly right. You see any more?
Substantial.
Substantial. Did it end in a vowel, your first syllable?
No.
Guess what? That's called a closed syllable. If it was S-U, you would say Sue. But because it has that B there, you said sub, which is correct. Notice what happened. It's not a straight line anymore. It's not an open sound. It is a closed sound. S is at the beginning, which is no matter anyway. But the U, assume I am the U. The B closed the U to make it a closed syllable. That looks like a half moon. Go ahead. What else do you notice? Use your pointer if you can.
Spa-
Space.
Spacious.
Spacious. Okay, what do you know?
Spa ends in a vowel.
That's right. And that vowel sounds like what?
A.
And so therefore you know it's an open syllable. Now earlier when we were off camera, Nahiku said, I never learned this. Of course you never learned it. Many people don't learn these items. Why are these helpful? Because they are true, they've been around for a long time, and they go in the weeds of our English and pull information out so we can understand why English is such a tough language. So, very good. All right, now we have looked at open syllables, closed syllable, any vowel closed with a consonant. We've done that silent E syllable. Now, let's look with our eyes and our pointer to see Nahiku and Mahina. If you can locate in your notebook any vowels that are followed by the letter R.
Followed by the
Letter R that changes the sound of a vowel. It no longer says E, it no longer says eh. It's something else only because of the R.
surprise.
Very good. What do you notice? Yes. And the is made out of what two letters?
ERIRURORA EAR. But I also thought there was an AR, but
Ah, very good. AR doesn't say, remember, this page with those that you were talking about, they sound like a rooster. But AR, most of the time, will just sound like R. And I just don't know why they put an E at the end when they just want to say R. So R doesn't fit for our syllable type we're looking for. What else do you see?
worth.
Worth. What is in front or before the R?
W.
W. And then you get that OR to turn into what?
Work.
So the word is
Worth.
worth. You have to have that W to turn that OR into sound. And this is academic language, ladies and gentlemen, not pragmatic, because I know some people are thinking of a doctor who in England is a doctor, but not here. These are the rooster-ers. What else do you notice?
Learner.
And what letters are going to make that sound?
AEAR.
And do you have a shape on top of your vowels in R.
This sort of wave-looking thing.
Yeah. It's no longer saying its name. It's no longer capped, closed with the consonant. And it's no longer silent E at the end. It is now controlled by that R at the end, preceded by vowels. And those are called a tilde or a tilde. And they wiggle together. That's the diacritical mark that you would find in a dictionary. So we have just you, Mahina, and Nahiku. You both have just looked and identified what kind of syllables. Let's review them with our guide.
So, Nahiku, let's go back to the page in your journal where we saw nation and we saw, I forget what other words were there. The TISICI page. Okay. Can you give me an example of a open syllable?
Division.
That, and which is your open syllable?
D.
De. Does the I say its name in division?
No.
Okay. So that would be an exception. And in that case, that would,
It's like a schwa.
okay. And would we still call that an open syllable? E, okay. Micah E. Is there, do you see an open syllable in which the vowel says its name?
Nation.
Beautiful. Nation. Yep. And division would be, I believe, the exception, an exception to the rule. Because if the rule says that is, you have an, if the rule is that if you have an open syllable, that last vowel in the syllable is going to say its name. In nation, does the A say its name?
No.
Nation.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. In division, does the I say its name?
No.
It doesn't say division. Okay. So more often than not, in fact, most times, and that's why we're, one of the reasons why we're going over this is so when you're reading, you know what it says. Most times, if you have an open syllable, that letter is going to say its name.
And division, it's a morpheme to divide, to split something. So again, that's going to tack on. Okay, so your open syllables can be anywhere in a word. But the most important piece in reading is when you get to the beginning of a word, you have to know whether you're going to make it a po or a pa, or a pie or a peh, or a. So you have to be able to go from a short sound, one of these, to one of these, saying its name. Okay, so you've got open syllables. Any others you want to review?
Yes, I do. How about closed syllables? So a closed syllable, if it doesn't, if a syllable is not ending with a vowel, what's it going to end with?
Consonant.
So a closed syllable has a vowel in between two what?
2 letters.
What type of letters?
Consonants.
Yep.
And it really doesn't have to be between.
As long as it,
It's closed. The word edge is a closed syllable.
What about hope?
Hope is a, what does it have at the end?
Oh, a vowel.
And what kind of a vowel is it?
Silent.
So that's another kind of syllable called a silent E syllable. You're right.
and so is edge, isn't it?
Is a closed syllable because it's a vowel. Agree?
Yep.
Is it followed, closed with a consonant? Yes. Even though it's DGE, that's a phoneme, but I'm only concerned about what comes after the vowel.
Okay.
Just like our controlled. What came after those vowels? An R. Oh my goodness. It takes away the sounds. It's controlling. Okay, let's go back. Okay, let's not lose you now.
But you just went over everything.
Okay, so we have how many types?
How many types did we go over today? We went over the
Repeat what they are.
Silent E. R controlled, closed, and opened. Note.
And wasn't there one more?
I think we
Did
just
you get
went
your
over the
final
four.
silent E?
Open sounds. Yes.
Okay, very good. And there are 7 syllable types. Right now, we're going to stop at this amount because they are what we have in our book. And syllables help us to write, and they help us to sound out words that we've never seen before. You must learn your vowels so you can decide if it's going to be saying its name or not, or controlled by the R. Mahalo for tuning in. You've just experienced another piece of the English language fundamentals. It's as if we're braiding a strong rope. Join us again. Ahui ho.